Scope is the biggest thing that we think about right off the bat. And I know, Joe, you're nodding your head. You've had to go through that as well, and you have to grapple with all of the third-party externalities of what you use to drive your business. Tell us, Joe, why is the inheritance process important to you? Why does it appeal to you? How does it help you?
So for Prealize, it's interesting you mentioned cloud native. Prealize is cloud native. We started completely inside of AWS, and so what inheritance does for us, there's a significant portion of HITRUST which is around something like physical security, and like we mentioned earlier, you're not going to get AWS to let auditors into the data center. So we do inheritance in that regard, but also inheritance more to the point of having clear data. We inherit a fair number. So AWS will give you resources, but they don't necessarily, it's HIPAA eligible is the word that they use. It doesn't mean that they've actually taken the steps to make it secure and compliant. Well, that's where clear data comes in. So we will go to clear data and say, we want RDS instances, for example, and clear data will layer in all of the pieces that are necessary for an RDS instance to pass compliance and to be more secure. And so when we do something like that, we don't actually know everything about what clear data has done for us. It's in our environment. We are running that database, but clear data is, we've basically licensed clear data. We said clear data will take care of this for us. And that way we can focus on what we do for our business. So inheritance is key because we basically get to say clear data does this for us, and HITRUST acknowledges that this is being handled by clear data, not something that we're doing in-house. And so when the evidence provision is required, we can actually we can rely on clear data's evidence in order for us to confirm that we're compliant. And that's the biggest reason why inheritance is really, it's key for Prealize, because we just don't have that many resources to cover every single base that's necessary.
Joe, break it down for us just a little bit in terms of the tactics on inheritance. We don't get too detailed into the spreadsheet of the SRM model, but tell us what your day looks like when you're trying to inherit something.
So first of all, I'll note that you do have to have policies and procedures. HITRUST is pretty big on policies and procedures, and that's definitely necessary. So we kind of start there. But then in addition, if we just want to get down to a very specific element, we talked about RDS instances. We talked about things like hardened images for our Linux servers, as an example. One of the HITRUST controls is around actually disabling the system accounts, like the default system accounts on an Ubuntu installation. And so what we'll do is we can actually, first of all, for the inheritance process, we can actually go into the MyCSF tool and we can define that clear data does this for us. And so we'll do a submission process, and this is what Chris was talking about earlier. So we're currently in our HITRUST audit, our interim audit right now, and there are some things that had come up that we had to kind of back and forth with clear data on, just to confirm that everything is where it's supposed to be. But so we'll do a submission there inside of the MyCSF tool, and then what happens is clear data then has the ability to go in and say, yes, we do this for Prealize, or no, like clear data could actually reject us, and this has actually happened. Sometimes the control is not exactly where we think it's, like we think it's something, but there's a little bit of confusion, so that kind of goes back and forth. But for the most part, though, that's basically the process. So it would go around to, we would submit it, clear data would go back and forth and confirm that clear data is actually handling for us, and then we could go ahead and once it's submitted, it's actually brought in as we don't have to do anything in terms of evidence, because if that control is inherited by clear data and clear data has confirmed that they are handling it for us, then we don't have to provide evidence around, for example, whether or not we have disabled the system accounts on a Linux server or something like that.